Hey, what is up, my friends? Welcome back to Day Trade Diary. Today is the 8th of April, 2026. It's Wednesday. Give an update about what happened yesterday. Big news. Iran and the USA has announced a 2-week ceasefire, which would allow the Straits of Hormuz to open again, and let the oil start to flow from the Gulf countries so they can get the oil out of those oil-producing countries, which is basically choked by the Straits of Hormuz and under Iranian control at the moment. So there will be a 2-week reprieve, which is good news, and all the markets have basically popped. Oil is tanking, oil stocks are tanking, everything else is going up from metals to Bitcoin to stocks, everything is popping. So just give an update what's going on. For Oanda, we're at 15,000 even with a 73% exposure. So the exposure is going down now as we start to take profits. Binance similarly is at 25% exposure as we start to take profits on the way up at 9974 US dollars, which gives us a total of 24,974, and that equates to a return of 6.14% since we started trading 40 days ago. That is the equivalent of 1,444 US dollars gain. As you can see, we are at an all-time high in terms of cumulative percentage gain as well as cumulative absolute gain at 1,444 US dollars. So it has been a journey to say the least, but I feel that our risk has been managed quite well. You can see from the peak to the trough, drawdown is from like 6% to, let's say, minus 4%. So it's about almost 10% drawdown. So that is still well within the parameters, considering what happened to the assets that we were trading at the price of Bitcoin and silver at these levels compared to these levels. So a 10% drawdown is good, and we also recovered very nicely as we start to take profits on the way up. So I'm convinced that this trading strategy, the grid trading strategy, is legit. But of course, with some caveats, you need to pick the assets properly. You can't chase. You can't have the fear of FOMO. And I think that me recording these daily vlogs for my trading journey has really reinforced very very tight discipline upon myself to not FOMO trade, to not do irrational just spur of the moment type decisions. Everything has been following the plan for the past 40 days with no deviations at all, and this has resulted in a very good equity curve, net asset value curve, and it's also helped me mentally as well to not be stressed out about certain trades, about missing certain trades, about exiting, because everything is pretty much mechanical in nature. So there doesn't need to be any thinking involved, except once in a while you need to just tweak your grid size as well as your grid amount, and that is basically based on some logic as well. It's not completely discretionary. So we do adjust the grid size based on the average true range, as I mentioned. As volatility in the asset goes down, then you need to reduce the grid size as well, or else you get days or even weeks with no buys or sells. But the asset itself is still ranging, but within a smaller range, so you need to adjust that accordingly. And then once volatility explodes, you adjust your grid size again to be even wider, and even smaller amounts per trade. Okay, let's jump straight into Bitcoin and see what has happened. It's basically Trump's world now. So yeah, so the news was announced. I don't know when was it announced. Probably around this candle last night, and immediately the market reacted. Bam, 4 or 5 green candles in the hourly. And I bet Trump insiders already knew what was happening around this point. And the moment it was announced, then obviously the market reacted in a very positive way. So Bitcoin has been popping. If we look at the day chart, yeah, you can see this entire candle here was basically on the news that the Iranian war is on pause, right? You can also see basically the market went out. Let's see what's the low and the high. The low was 67, and then the high was 72. So about 5,000 US dollar candle from wick to wick. And we had 1 buy since our last update and 2 take profits. And then I've reset the buys here. Okay, I'll show you that was in USD. So now I'll show you in Bitcoin terms what the trades are. Yeah. So I've adjusted the size of each trade from 0.008 to 0.005, which is roughly about 350 US dollars per trade. and then the ladder size is now $1,000. So I might revisit that as volatility increases, but for now I'm comfortable with that. Okay, if we go now to silver, we had some activity. You can see here there are two take profits at 10 units. I've also reduced the silver by the silver size from 25 to 10, and the grid size at $2.50 gap between each trade. So yeah, we had two take profits and one buy order, if I can find it. Yeah, here. So one fill order at 10 units, and this was the take profit for that trade. So this was the buy, this was the sell, and then this was another sell. So let's look at the chart. So yeah, it bought at here yesterday, and then it took profit around here, and then this trade, which was open for a while already, took profit around here. So now we have this open trade, we should take profit at this green line. And if we zoom in, then we can see the rest of it. So these are the open trades. These are all buy orders at 73.50 and below. And then these are the open trades that we are hoping to take profits on. Yeah, Binance is Oanda is at a almost record high net asset value. I think our highest recorded net asset value for Oanda was 15,107 on the 9th of March. So yeah, it's a good result considering that silver is still pretty low compared to where it was when we first started. When did we start? Let's have a look. We started on the 22nd of February. Where is 22nd of February? So 22nd of February was at that candle. Yeah, this one right here. That was 22nd of February. So you can see we opened 22nd of February at $85, and now we're at $76. But in terms of net asset value, we are doing pretty good compared to the 26th of February. Our net asset value on the 22nd of February. Yeah, on the 22nd of February, we opened at $85. Currently, we're at $76 for silver, and our net asset value on the 22nd of February was 14,342, and right now we're at 15,000. So silver price has dropped, and that is our main trading vehicle, but our net asset value has gone up. So that basically proves that the grid trading strategy does have some merit. Quite happy with that, the way it's performed. Yeah, so hopefully we can continue to build our net asset value up. 6.14% in 40 days is no mean feat. So we should be happy with that, and let's see if we can progress further. Let me see. Yeah, for gold has obviously popped as well. So gold has also popped. As you can see, open gap up in overnight trading. So what Trump usually does is he will announce these things once the market closes, the US market closes, so that it doesn't cause any volatility. But when the markets reopen, then you can see there's a gap up. There you go. You see where the market closed and then where the market reopened on the next day, there's a gap up. And we can see on the hourly chart, perhaps even, yeah. So you see there's a gap between here and here. So that's when the news broke that there will be a ceasefire. So gold is popping up. It's now at 4,800, which is great because we have gold. And then if we look at China, A50 is also moving. Yeah, so everybody loves the news that the war is on hold. So you can see big, massive gap up for China A50, and now we are in profit for $37 for that. Copper as well, open gap up, and then it's now going up. I do own some copper mining stocks. They're obviously not reflected in this mechanical grid trading strategy, but in my long-term portfolio. So those are really doing pretty well. I do have some oil stocks as well, and those are doing badly now. So because of the ceasefire. But it is what it is. I bought oil stocks before the announcement was of the war even started. So that has done well, even though with the ceasefire, it has had a dramatic one-day drop now. All right, so that concludes my trading update for today. You can see here this is, if you take away one message on this trading strategy, just look at this chart, and this shows the true performance of this trading strategy. Yeah, warts and all, peaks and troughs, everything is can be displayed in one chart, and you don't need to even say any words around it. So the numbers at the end of the day, only the numbers matter. All right, so that concludes my trading for today. Wish you all a good day, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Take care now. Bye bye.